What's up, my dudes? My name is Sister Turley, and this is episode 2 of riding the track backwards. So in this video, we have a sketch of an SX track, and if any of you guys remember when I did the actual track review of this track right here, I was thinking, man, it kind of feels like you're riding on a track backwards, and so I was thinking, well, if you ride on the track backwards, then it should feel like you're riding on the track the right way, and believe it or not, it actually does. So it's crazy, man. This track right here is so much fun to ride backwards. There's so many different rhythms, and it just flows, man. Like, honestly, it feels just as good or better riding backwards than it does riding the right way. So I don't know, man, it's crazy, but there's so many different rhythms you can hit, and there's two rhythms that I would say there's about a 10 to 15% chance you're gonna hit it right, and that's one of them right there, where you gotta bounce off of one jump to get to, like, you triple onto another tabletop. It's absolutely crazy, man. Like, I don't know, it's so dangerous because any sort of jump where you're like bouncing off of another jump, there's such a high chance that you're just gonna instantly case and fall off the bike. So it's super tricky, man, but it's a ton of fun when you can get your timing down right and hit those crazy different lines that you can do and stuff. So this track right here, man, I don't know, it's so much fun to ride backwards. It's cool because even your standard just jumps out of the corner, they make sense. Like this right here, you can just downside it like that, and you can just find rhythms for days on this track, especially when you, instead of jumping a jump just as hard as you possibly can right out of the corner like you normally would on a supercross track, like with this one, if you'll notice, if you'll like let off a little bit and kind of like jump the smaller jump, then it allows you to do a completely different rhythm like midway through the actual rhythm section. So you can find rhythms all over the place, man. It's just absolutely crazy. So this track right here is just a ton of fun, man, and I think it would be really cool if people made like a reverse version of their tracks where they didn't actually change the jumps or anything on the track. They just simply kind of did their timing gates backwards so that you could run fast lap times and stuff on it completely backwards. I just think that'd be a ton of fun. So yeah, man, this jump right here is so tricky. You got to bounce to that, but it's so rewarding when you can hit some crazy jump that you wouldn't normally expect to be able to hit, and especially wouldn't expect to hit it backwards. So I don't know, man, it's just it's so much fun to do that. I don't know, I'm starting to fall in love with this whole idea. Check this out right here. Is that not crazy? Jumping that triple right there and just barely landing it right, dude. That's, oh man, it's so much fun, and it's just fun to mess around on these tracks, and you can, right there, you can actually do like an on-off on that tabletop backwards, but that's like, oh my gosh, Pastrana difficult, man. It's pretty tough. If you've never jumped tabletop on-offs backwards, like they're not meant to hit like that, so it's definitely tricky, man. But this track right here, I don't know, it's a ton of fun to ride backwards. Definitely one of the funnest ones I've found to ride backwards, and I knew it would be like that when I was riding on it the right way, because I was like, man, what, you know, it almost felt like I was riding on the track backwards when I was riding it the right way. So, and I'm pretty sure when I first got on this track for the very first time, I was like, I couldn't tell if I was riding the track the right way or backwards, and I think I was accidentally riding it backwards, and it felt like I was riding the track normally, and then I was like, oh no, and then I figured out I was going the wrong way, so then, I don't know, then I started riding it the other way. But yeah, I mean, if there was ever a track to ride backwards, it's this one right here, man. It's a ton of fun. And see, right here, I was discovering where I could kind of let off and then find a completely different rhythm. Ended up crashing right there. But yeah, like I'm saying, I mean, if you really spend the time to figure out some different rhythms and like figure out, well, if I let off right here, then I'll actually be able to jump something bigger, like further down the rhythm. So there's actually like a strategic element to it, because it's not normal like any normal supercross track. It's not like just the same standard, just hit it as hard as you can, man. Like there's a really tricky element to it. That's why I say it's a lot like an enduro track, because you really gotta be precise, and your timing's got to be perfect, and you really got to think about what you're doing to get all your rhythms down and stuff. And right there, that was another one of those instances where you could like let off, and you could actually hit a bigger rhythm. So anyways, so I appreciate all you watching these videos, and I'll keep on making them. Peace.